Namaskar friends. The budget for 2024 would be released anytime from now. There are certain expectations which I put forward before the government so that certain tax reforms could be brought in, and my expectations are that the reforms would give a greater impetus to the current economic status of the economy. The first and foremost is that if the government wishes to increase the tax base, it is appeal to the government that why not a search may be conducted for checking the Form 60 and 61 and Form 15G and 15H file with the banks. This is for the non-PAN holders. These forms are for the non-PAN holders. This goes unchecked. If the consolidation of such forms is made, the taxation base number of taxpayers or the number of ITR filers can be increased. Similarly, a search can be conducted in the sub-register offices under the auspices of the government so that more and more persons who are breaching certain limit can be found out and brought into the ITR net. This way, the income tax filers can be increased. Second point which I want to highlight before the government and appeal before the government that this NTR new tax regime and old tax regime is creating unwanted confusion in the minds of people which one to choose, because in the old tax regime there were some deductions on behalf of LIC investment, then investment in the provident fund, then investment in the NPS, then investment in the senior citizen scheme, then investment in the 5 years bank fixed deposits. But in the new tax regime, it is not there. The government is, I hope, trying to push forward with the NTR reforms so that they will introduce some deductions in the NTR. These two regimes are unnecessary. I feel these two regimes are unnecessary so that these two regimes can be done away with and only one tax reform may be introduced. In the old tax regime, up to 5 lakhs, the exemption is there. In new tax regime, up to 7 lakhs, the exemption is there. Why this disparity with the deductions? If the government wants to increase the tax base, they can do away with both the regimes and merge into one. That is what the feasible one, so that the investments can be promoted. Investments into LIC and other deduction schemes can be promoted. The third one which I want to highlight is that the progressive taxation system is not going to improve anything, because the higher tax earners, higher income earners are hiding their income. The tax evasion is being encouraged by the system of progressive taxation, because once it crosses 5 lakhs, the rebate is being burdened onto the next slab. So everyone will try to, those who are off record, they will try to reduce their income below 5 lakhs limit. Why not this can be done away with and a uniform tax rate can be brought in? For example, after 2.5 lakhs, government can introduce a system of 10% taxation so that everyone will be taxed at a single rate and no one will be found disparity and no rebate shall be offered, because rebate is creating some kind of discrimination. Those who are earning more than 5 lakhs, they are discriminated. The rebate is first given and then added on. Finally, I would appeal to the government to moderate the education cess and the health education cess which is being charged. This is only being charged from the onerous taxpayers who come to around 3 crores people and some 450 companies and some few partnership firms. This what happens is that they are only bearing the cost of education in our country. Why not a system can be implemented where every citizen of the country is charged education cess in the same manner in which GST is being charged. Maybe a fixed sum or 10, 50 rupees can be collected from everyone, leaving the taxpayers to bear the burden of the entire education system or the cost of the country. So, charging from every citizen is the key to make the burden removed from the honest taxpayers who come to a very few percentage of the total population. Thank you for your cooperation, friend.